Maybe I can come in.
From The Twilight Zone to Hannibal, the absolute gems of horror television series have left a lasting effect on our brains. With their spine-chilling story plots, startling visuals, and the perfect illustration of major themes like horror, gore, and supernatural elements, the genre now has a firm grip on its audience. Whether on small or big screens, the portrayal of impeccable horror plots has left the audience in awe, always on the go for the next horror release. In this video, we will take you across the bests of the best horror television series of all time. Before we go into our explanation though, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin. Supernatural 2005. The American horror fantasy series aired in 2005 and now has 15 seasons, each delivering perfect sequences of the events in the lives of two brothers. They come from a family of people who hunt supernatural forces. The show follows a plot where the brothers lose their mother to a supernatural being. The two come together to hunt supernatural creatures when their father goes missing. The story then shows how the brothers go through immense and endless fights with demons and drama. The plot rests on the balanced combination of lore and mythology. The show focuses on Sam and Dean, who are determined to drive out all the supernatural beings. Following in their father's footsteps and the family legacy, the two run into the anti-hero of the show, Crowley, a powerful devil. He becomes an ally with Sam and Dean. Even after 15 seasons with the same faces, plot, and revenge story, the show has successfully managed to retain all its viewers. Over the years, writers have experimented with new supernatural elements and taken enormous risks. Both factors significantly contribute to why people still find the series bizarrely fascinating. The show has so much more to offer than a basic revenge tale, with great humor and quirky remarks between Castiel and Crowley. The production with each season has only improved and broken all their records. It has a pack of spectacular cast members, gut-wrenching sad moments, and weirdly horrifying scenes. So do not let the exhausting number of episodes hold you back from watching the series, because if you have not watched Supernatural 2005, you are missing out on all the fun. Love, Death and Robots 2019. The adult anthology animated Netflix series has 3 volumes, with every episode being produced and delivered by various animated studios from different countries. Since it is an anthology, no episode is connected to the other. With the help of technology, the series has unlocked a master way of real-time animation. We see on-screen performances by actors and their voiceovers who are not even there. However, we bet the series would not feel animated because of the flawless animation and graphics. The central concept behind the series is to show how humans still look forward to selfish acts while in self-preservation. The series explores scenarios and how the world would be after the inevitable apocalypse. It shows numerous alternatives of how aliens would fit themselves in post-apocalypse and how the world's domination by yogurt would turn out. Each short film has a unique plot with different genres and unique styles of visualization and animation. The series navigates through various themes like dystopia, the extinction of the human race, gender inequality, robot takeover, and so much more an individual can just think of but cannot explain. Each episode runs approximately for 30 minutes with insanely amazing storylines. Indeed, the events will let you dwell on the reality of each episode. Hence, it would not be wrong to say that for many people, it would be an escape from reality who vividly dream and imagine the world from a sci-fi lens. American Horror Story 2011. The television horror series is an anthology, however, it is more appropriately perceived as a mini-series, as each season brings a standalone story. Each season has its plot with a beginning, middle, and the end. However, you may find the same characters appearing in new seasons again, portraying new roles. Murder House shows a family living in a haunted house, and the story follows the events there. Asylum, the second season, focuses on the staff and patients of an institution of criminals. The second season has been regarded as the most disturbing and horrifying. Each season has been perfectly star-studded, with actors like Jessica Lange, Emma Roberts, Dennis O'Hare, and many more added extra stars to the series. American Horror Story noticeably manipulates and leads the viewers into believing what they want to think, and then, boom, you realize you missed out on a turn, and the end is not what you supposed it to be, but something more compelling. So do not be surprised if you find yourself re-evaluating things often. It brings forward all the shades of darkness, and you will find twists very cleverly fitted at unexpected moments. Hammer House of Horror, 1980. It is a British horror television series that aired in 1980, and the series has a total of 13 episodes, each narrating a standalone story. Each story delivers something unique, from using witchcraft to rain wrath upon a family, discovering secret societies behind evil voodoos, having abnormal dream sequences and finding encouragement in them to kill one's wife, to people landing up in haunted houses. The writers have covered everything. The Hammer Productions have maintained the gothic atmosphere presence throughout. Although it is considered one of the most underrated horror anthologies of all time, it still serves as a great testimony to Hammer Productions' ability to create stuff with dedication and willingness. The series has been applauded for capturing Hammer's signature style in its production, and it reflects the cinematic horror the production house is known for. The episodes offer a diversity of watching experiences, including thrilling moments. The Silent Scream, Rude Awakening, and Guardian of the Abyss are extraordinary episodes to watch. Right from the opening sequence, you get your eyes fixated on the screen, which is understandable since the openings are indeed noteworthy. It might be your top pick if you are into short horror stories. Tales from the Crypt, 1989. Tales from the Crypt is an American anthology series also known by the name HBO's Tales from the Crypt. The show first aired in 1989 and has seen 7 seasons with 93 episodes. The perfect chilling horror tales are based on the EC comics of the 1950s. It focuses on a ghastly demon figure, Crypt Keeper, who is obsessed with frightful puns and dark humor. The series has out-of-the-world opening scenes for every episode. You enter a yard with lightning falling on the ground, and there is a house similar to the Victor Creel house from Stranger Things. Every time you open a door in this place, there is a creaking sound, and of course, it is dark and full of spiderwebs hanging from the ceiling. Soon you are led into the creepy basement with the dim light of candles. A wooden coffin is placed in the right center from where Crypt Keeper pops up, and the show begins. Considering the fact that the horror series with its dark humor effect was produced in the late 80s, it was way ahead of its time. Throughout 7 seasons, people were absorbed in watching every episode. It was even nominated for the Primetime Emmy Awards. Like every show networked by HBO, this one too has matched the hype around HBO. What makes it more spooky is the host of the show, Crypt. The show was packed with the best visuals and perfect eerie background music. It will get you hooked from the first episode. Friday the 13th, the series, 1987. Friday the 13th has given 3 seasons of amazing 80s music, cool vintage outfits that revolve around the same timeline, and the hairdos. The prologue sets the base for the plot to run smoothly. Louis Vendredi makes a deal with the devil and fails to uphold it. The failure costs him his soul. The deal was about selling cursed antique items from a store. Louis's niece, Mickey, and Ryan later take the deal and discover that the relics and artifacts are cursed and could bring wrath upon the people. Soon the two begin tracking down the items and returning them to the store's vault. Most sequences involve people using the items for personal gains or revenge. The objects are not just weird-looking things that would creep you out. Some objects show characteristics like sentiments, intelligence, and awareness. However, every object requires a sacrifice of a human to make the wishes of the person possessing it come true. It leads to crazy sequences of people dying. The writers have creatively made those scenes top-of-the-world material. Everything in a horror genre must start with an excellent opening credit and climax. Friday the 13th understood the assignment. The simplicity yet the uniqueness of the show has made it worth watching.
Please, just...
Maybe I can come in.
From 2022. From 2022, the horror series created by John Griffin is set in America in a town that traps everyone who enters it. You cannot locate this town anywhere on the maps, but it successfully entices people from all around the continent. Whenever anyone passes through the forest road and comes across a fallen tree blocking the way, unwillingly they must change their routes. But that turn does not get them out in the open. Instead, they are trapped in moving circles. Later, they realize that they have been caught in a mystic town. The town's residents do their best to survive the strange, scary happenings and bloodthirsty monsters. It can be tough to describe how amazing the show is. It will leave you hanging from your couch because of the puzzled and alternate scenarios surrounding each episode. The show is top rated for leaving its viewers in a confused state of mind due to the cliffhanger endings. However, the ends keep a window open for the next episode to amaze you completely. The unpredictability of events in the show makes it the gold standard. The writers have combined mystery and horror to give the show a standout position. The Mist, 2017. The Mist is not some ordinary horror science fiction series you could watch, but it has layered concepts. We will be briefly unearthing those concepts and the reasons behind why things had to happen in a certain way in the show. The series follows the events after a mysterious mist blanketed a town in Bridgewell, Maine. The mist reduced the visibility levels to zero, trapping groups of people in malls, churches, and hospitals. Soon people began to see ghost-like projections of their fears, past traumatic events, or guilt. Based on how they react and respond to it, they either get help or are killed. The show unlayers the idea of fear of abandonment, fear of God, fear of suffering alone, and the fear of losing that one person in your life. Stephen King was inspired to write The Mist by his trip to a supermarket after a thunderstorm. While on the trip, he vividly imagined giant insects, creatures, and animals laying siege to the place. Symbolically, The Mist can be viewed as the main antagonist. Season 1 ends by providing no closure to its viewers. The answers to the questions like, what is the next thing to do for the survivors? What role is the military supposed to play? And so much more are awaited. The show is well delivered. However, extra focus has been laid on the subplots instead of the main plot. The story also needs some catching up to bring all the creatures into action from the film adaptation of the horror novel by the same author.
Jesus, what is it? Watch out, Travis!
Calvin!
Fear the Walking Dead, 2015. Robert Kirkman and David Erickson created the series. The show is the second part of the Walking Dead franchise. The initial 3 seasons are a prequel that follows a dysfunctional family that sees the origins of the zombie apocalypse. It is a spin-off to the original show, The Walking Dead, based on the comics under the same name by Robert and Tony Moore. The seasons show how each family member must develop survival skills to stay alive. The later seasons run simultaneously with the original show, focusing on Morgan James from The Walking Dead, the original series. He runs into the existing members of the family and other new survivors in Texas. The show marks the starting point where it all went wrong, with horrors emerging from every corner. Season 3 is regarded as the most memorable. It shows us fascinating character developments on the part of the characters, with Madison Clark leading the way. With the fall of humanity, fear, death, triggering emotions, and scary thoughts start to come back to the surface. The show does not illustrate a typical zombie apocalyptic scenario where the hero kills zombies without fear. Instead, the portrayals are more realistic and grounded. It has every element from action and incredible fight scenes to a demonstration of the fear that envelops a person when fighting death. Yellow Jackets, 2021. The series is a thriller drama which focuses on the survival of a group of people. It shows how a group of teenagers who were the survivors of a plane crash incident struggle for survival when some resort to cannibalism. While New Jersey's high school soccer team travels to Seattle, their plane crashes deep in a forest. The series follows the events of how the survivors stay alive while being left stranded for 19 months. It also shows how the survivors go on with their everyday lives, carrying the trauma after being rescued. The series is not directly based on a real incident. However, the 1972 Andes flight incident and the donor party have slightly inspired the story. The show offers a variety of genres, from mystery, violence, horror, and thriller, including all the twists and turns. It has a perfect runtime, with the storytelling not being too slow or fast, and 2 flawless seasons are delivered. It successfully tries to answer questions revolving around how how complicated friendships can get when you are out in the wilderness with nothing to survive on. It makes you question your conscience about what is wrong or right when someone's life is on the line. The show is about trauma, surviving, unwillingly putting yourself first when it costs someone else's life, and how all these things affect the bonds they share. Indeed, every actor has done a remarkable job of portraying traumatized characters. Dark, 2017. The question is not where, but who. Dark is a German science fiction series that ran for 3 seasons. It revolves around time travel and how it connects 4 different families and their past and future generations in the town of Weiden. The storytelling and how the writers have unraveled time travel theories will bend your mind. The events unfold when a child goes missing. Eventually, the members of the 4 families unearth the secret of time travel and the existence of their counterparts in different time zones. It shows a multiverse where 2 different versions of characters exist. The series is hands down the best science fiction with time travel series ever. The cinematography, the setting, and the music in the woods somewhere playing in the background is top-notch. The show's writers deserve an Oscar for how they can build up so many connections and scientific theories, introduce different versions of characters, and then start connecting them to different timelines, which is nothing but a work of pure genius. If you fail to understand the series' complicated family trees, you're going to feel lost. The family trees are the biggest catch. There would not be a dull moment as everything is happening simultaneously. With a chilling tagline, "End is a new beginning," the show brought the world to a stop upon its release on Netflix. With 11 out of 10 ratings, it is one of the biggest releases and a masterpiece. The Outer Limits, 1995. The original Outer Limits show aired from 1963 to 1965. It was later revived in 1995 with elements of science fiction, horror, and aliens in the show. The show is known for its amazing, distinctive stories in each episode with mandatory plot twist endings. The show ran for 7 seasons, bringing forth entirely fresh and new concepts. It is not entirely an anthology show, as there are episodes which connect in the same universe. The show is a packed bundle of paranormal stuff, robotics, facts about life, and encounters between humans and aliens. The best thing about self-contained episodes in the show is that the same story is not dragged throughout the series' runtime. Shows like The Outer Limits provide quick, crisp, and to-the-point delivery of the spookiest and the best stories. Upon its release, the show was all over the place with its hits and miss moments. Some of the show's best episodes were Afterlife, Relative Theory, Alien Shop, The Grell, and Beyond the Veil. Masters of Horror, 2005. The title Masters of Horror came from the fact that each episode of the show was written and directed by the Masters of Horror. The 10 Masters were invited by Mick Garris, who created the show. It featured renowned writers and directors like John Carpenter, Takashi, Toby Hooper, Dario, and many more. Some of these episodes were the original works of the directors, while the others were adapted from existing works. The series has artfully captured each director's distinctive style of horror storytelling. The show ran for 2 seasons. Garris has done an excellent job bringing together the legends of horror stories. The assembling of different people has given the show its unique feature, diversity. With multiple directors involved, the show allowed many creative people to push their creative boundaries and explore various horror subgenres. Tales from the Dark Side, 1983. An anthology series created by George A. Romero aired from 1983 to 1988. Many stories in the show have been adapted from horror tales written by well-known writers like Stephen King, Clive Barker, John Cheever, and Harlan Ellison. There have been many anthology series that were made around the same time. However, Tales from the Dark Side is undoubtedly one of the best of the bunch. The show had the most incredible opening and closing credits, giving the best trip to their viewers on the dark side. It delivered great episodes with a balanced combination of horror, eerie music in the background, and graphic details of the dark side. There are a few episodes that still may haunt you to date, like The Old Soft Shoe, Family Reunion, Sorry Right Number, Answer Me, and Seasons of Belief. If you have ever been hooked onto an 80s horror show, you will enjoy watching this too. Tales from the Dark Side have set the bar high for creative and spooky visualization of science fiction and horror themes. The background music might give you more chills than the entire episode. The show was shot on a low budget. However, throughout the seasons, the writers have ensured that viewers would not feel as if the production for the show was done with a low budget, which is purely due to the fantastic stories it offers us.
That has been altered. It's a freshly dug grave.
Night Gallery 1970, also known as Rod Serling's Night Gallery, is one of the most underrated horror anthology series. Rod Serling, well known for the horror series The Twilight Zone, hosts the show and carries out the opening and closing sequences. The introduction usually began at a night gallery, with him welcoming the viewers and showing the paintings in the gallery. The paintings then set the episode's storyline, as each canvas illustrated a horrifying nightmare moment suspended in time and space. Night Gallery was a follow-up to The Twilight Zone, however, it may not have touched the same level. Nonetheless, Serling made Night Gallery a timeless show. The most significant difference between Night Gallery and The Twilight Zone was that the former had its central focus on the themes of macabre, while the latter had it on science fiction. It has delivered many memorable episodes with top-notch direction and cinematography, and the main scary scenes are shot at perfect angles to keep our eyes fixed on the screen. At the same time, some episodes might not cut to the chase, but the demonstration of simple, spooky tales with the best combination of music giving goosebumps and the setting makes it worth watching.
Draw on it.
The Twilight Zone, 1959 to 1964. Created by Rod Serling, The Twilight Zone presents various genres like the dystopian world, science fiction, psychological thriller, and fantasy. The end credits usually had unforeseen plot twists with a hidden moral message. Serling liked Pulp Fiction from a young age, and as an adult, he was interested in books with a touch of narratives like politics, war, and human issues. Hence, just like the legend he is, Rod combined the two. His writing began to reflect a balanced combination of plot twists, moral lessons, and comments made on the government's shortcomings. The show navigates through the possibilities of a dystopian world and how they can come true. It also offers elements of time travel and the afterlife. Each episode comes with a different set of characters whose morals are shaken. There are monsters, and in this universe, wishes are granted in return for something. The way Rod has presented political flaws and human nature with a taste of science, thrill, and moral lessons is commendable. Each episode is a reflection of human society. After its successful run for 5 years, many spin-offs have been made to the show, but they have yet to match the hype around this show. But how was the show successful in making the themes portrayed at that period still relevant today? The answer lies in the storytelling technique of being straightforward to the viewer about an issue. The show has illustrated that the horror originates not from some ghastly figures, but from the immoral doings of the people. Inside Number 9, 2014, a British anthology series with a runtime of 30 minutes for each episode, was created by Reece Shearsmith and Steve Pemberton. The show stars Reece and Steve in most recent episodes. Apart from them, each episode has a new set of actors, a setting, and a story. The stories in each episode are distinctive. However, they are set in such locations that somehow connect them through to the number 9. Whether it is a door number, apartment number, or classroom, each has 9 written on it. Throughout 8 seasons, the writers have not left any stone unturned. Everything on the table, from pun-intended humor to mystery and horror. The writers have cunningly jumped from genre to genre in every episode to keep the stakes high. Inside Number 9 has slowly become the cleverest and most innovative show on television screens. Anyone who has discovered the show would know how it proves to be a good contender for shows like Black Mirror. It is mind-boggling how the writers develop such scripts with details like a hair statue in each episode. Even in its dark moments, you could always find sinister comedy effects, leaving you giggling. The show has broken the traditional boundaries of shows with genres like horror and comedy and has created its signature storytelling style. With each episode, the show only gets better and better. The Vampire Diaries, 2009, a teen mystery drama series based on the book of the same name written by L.J. Smith. Kevin Williamson and Julie Plec created the show. The show became the most watched television in history. The story is set in the town of Mystic Falls with a lot of supernatural and vampire werewolves history. It follows the life of teen girl Elena Gilbert, who lost her parents in a car crash. She soon falls in love with a vampire, Stephen Salvatore, who is 162 years old. Soon, Damon Salvatore, Stephen's brother, makes his entry and later falls in love with Elena. Eventually, people from Stephen and Damon's past enter the storyline, driving the plot more captivating. The show has brought doppelgangers, vampire-werewolf hybrids, and powerful witches to the main storyline, leaving no space for an average watching experience for the viewers. Since it has always given an extraordinary watching experience with all the drama and neck snaps, powerful spells, and bloodthirsty creatures, it is understandable if you find yourself up until 5 a.m. binge watching the show, since none can resist tapping the next episode on their screens. Each character has outperformed themselves, and the viewers have loved the story at every step. The show will give you the awe moments and make you laugh, giggle, and cry at times. It is worth all the applause and love it has received. The Walking Dead, 2010. The series takes us into a post-apocalyptic world where the world has been taken over by the zombies, referred to as zombies. The show is a book adaptation of the same name written by Robert Kirkman. The series has a large cast who portray the zombie apocalypse survivors. They soon reinvent themselves by learning the necessary survival skills to stay alive. The walkers are attracted to noise and human scents, which makes them potentially dangerous. Earlier, it was assumed that the zombie virus was mutating due to zombies biting or wounding humans, but later it was discovered that the cause of mutation lay within humans. The mutation was possible because of pathogens in humans. The show even had spin-off projects like Fear the Walking Dead, The Walking Dead World Beyond, and Tales of the Walking Dead. The show's protagonist wakes from his years-long coma only to find that human civilization is on the brink of extinction. He leads the group of survivors. With phenomenal acting performances, settings, zombies walking on Earth's surface from every corner, and the action arc, the show never fails to amaze us. Throughout the seasons, the episode delivery was intelligent and unique, giving its viewers a mix of emotions ranging from fear of freaky zombies to tensed emotional sequences. The Last of Us, 2023. The show is based on a game developed by Naughty Dog. It is set 20 years later, in 2023, when the zombie fungal infection took over the US. The show starts with Dr. Newman, an epidemiologist, discussing the possible viral pandemic outbreak. He talks about how fungus could be the end of humanity. The show has depicted fungi not interested in killing, but taking control of the human brain, altering its functioning. The fungi in the series multiply in the brains, and soon, with the rise of the Earth's atmosphere due to global warming, if the virus contacts the human brain, it would be unstoppable. The Last of Us is not about bringing forth average zombie figures, but cordyceps. The show follows a smuggler, Joe, portrayed by Pedro Pascal, who tries to get an immune girl, Ellie, played by Bella Ramsey, safely in the hands of doctors so that a cure is possible. The father-daughter chemistry has emotionally wrecked us. All of us were hooked on the phrase, "It's okay, baby girl, I got you." Ellie had grown up in a world devoid of normalcy and love and without any parental figure. We see how Joe fills up the hollow space in her life, which is truly beautiful. Eventually, they develop a rock-solid bond, sharing their pasts, history, trauma, and the losses of loved ones. It artfully delivers the message that human preservation lies only in the relationships we build, depicted in the show via Bill and Frank's relationship. Chucky 2021. This program is a sequel to the show Cult of Chucky. Being set 3 weeks later, the events of Cult of Chucky follow the life of a teenage boy, Jake Wheeler. Jake buys a good guy doll from a yard sale. He soon unearths that the doll is possessed by the soul of a criminal, Charles, nicknamed Chucky. Strange incidents including murders start occurring in Hackensack, New Jersey, linked to the doll. Jake becomes the prime suspect in these incidents. Some of his school friends also find themselves connected to them. The show also shows the past of Charles and how he became a devious serial killer. The creator, Don Mancini, has deliberately explored untouched topics like bullying, harassment of people, family issues, murder, gore, and violence. Dolls, whether Annabelle or Chucky, have always been menacing in the horror genre. The series is fun and exciting with a perfect, enjoyable soundtrack. The Midnight Club, 2022. The series shows the life of a group of 8 adult people who are terminally ill. Set in a mental health care center, the group sits together at midnight and tells each other scary tales. The tales in the show are adapted from the novel The Midnight Club by Christopher Pike, while some have been taken from different books written by Pike. The 8 adults have made a pact that whosoever is the first to lose to their illness would communicate with the rest of the members from the other side. With a mild horror plot, The Midnight Club is a good watch. It began with a promising start with the actors, the direction and the unique narrative keeping the show on the right track. For every midnight tale, the setting was true to its form and original. Precisely the house on the hill shown in one of the episodes appears to date back to the 1990s. Unfortunately, the show was cancelled after the first season for reasons unknown to the show's fandom. 1899, 2022. It is a German show packed with mystery, thriller sequences and science fiction. The story is set on a ship, Kerberos, traveling to the United States in the late 19th century, carrying European immigrants. The show is not based on actual events and offers a large cast of people belonging to different countries, cultures and languages. The show follows the mysterious and supernatural events on the ship while sailing through the Atlantic Ocean. It navigates themes like a human response to an unexpected turn of events, fear, and how it affects the people in the situation. 1899 is more of a riddle for viewers than a show. It keeps people on the go. They keep on making guesses and assumptions by breaking down every time lapse. Although the show does not have a second season, the viewers have been demanding more of this compelling, riveting, and rarity of storytelling technique followed in it. If you have been debating whether to watch the show, go for it without a second thought. People fond of psychological thriller dramas with a spin of horror and mystery should go for it.
Is he alright? Now don't look cross with him. It's no good looking cross.
Tales of the Unexpected, 1979. The show is based on renowned Roald Dahl's short stories. He is well known for crisp, dark, mysterious and twisted tales. Each episode has a brief introduction from Dahl, who sets the foundation for the upcoming episode. The show successfully ran for 10 seasons from 1979 to 1988, with each episode illustrating a diversity of genres from suspense, betrayal and revenge to crime. It stars a lot of popular guest entries like Julie Harris, Derek Jacobi, Joan Collins and many more. Along with Dahl's short story adaptations, the show welcomed and featured many directors with their original works. Some of the best tales from the show are The Flypaper, I Will Be Seeing You, A Harmless Vanity, and People Don't Do Such Things. It's a kind of show that induces a range of emotions and thoughts in a person. The show's opening credits prepare the tone for the tale, which is terrific, involving guns, a spooky glimpse of a woman dancing, a skull, and a skeleton. Like an intelligent writer, Roald Dahl leaves some space for viewers to guess how the tale will end, but it is just a random guess. You never know how things will turn out until the end, mostly the opposite of how we imagined it. Guillermo del Toro's Cabinet of Curiosities, 2022. The Netflix series is an anthology with a perfect mix of horror stories. It is not just another eerie anthology, but offers episodes exploring unique themes like vanity, loss, human greed, and corruption. It unearths topics that represent the odds of the world. 2 of the 8 episodes are based on writing by Toro himself, who is also the creator of the series. Del Toro also serves as a guide to the introduction of each episode. With the opening sequence, Del Toro stands beside a large wooden cabinet, opening a different drawer each time and drawing out an object to display the next curiosity. The most famous episodes are Dreams in the Witch House, The Autopsy, The Viewing, Graveyard Rats, and The Murmuring. The blend of the creator's imaginative capability and the creative display of classic horror stories stands beyond our expectations. What horror stories lack nowadays is the ability to give themselves a justified yet unusual and creepy ending. The Cabinet of Curiosities has given us the climax we deserve in each episode. With average runtimes, the episodes are captivating until the end. The series has delivered promising episodes which will hold your focus and divert you from your current state of mind. If you plan to watch it, all the best for being caught up in the episode. The Terror 2018. The Terror 2018 is about, quite figuratively, exploring the unknown, only to discover why some places are simply better left to themselves. An adaptation of Dan Simmons' 2007 bestseller, it depicts the fictionalized version of Captain John Franklin's lost expedition to find the uncharted territory of Northwest Passage. HMS Terror and HMS Erebus, the ships that left for the Arctic to challenge the elusive boundaries, eventually find themselves stuck in the ice, doomed to be the victim of a shadowy monster thirsty for their blood and the biggest monster of all, humanity itself. The Terror 2018 was widely loved by a large number of viewers. The psychological elements, the cinematic style, the well-rounded dynamic characters, and the on-point acting carries the show to spectacular heights. It is the rime of the ancient mariner meets the crew in Moby Dick, daring to disturb and conquer the creepy corners warned about, but being left behind, stranded and doomed in their own helplessness against the power of the natural, which often harbors the shield of the supernatural. The atmospheric, gothic setting, the chilling, suspenseful tone that each episode carries, and the extreme extent of the need to survive can deprive a human, making this adaptation a well-acclaimed masterpiece.
Do you believe there is a demi-monde? A half-world between...
Penny Dreadful 2014. Penny Dreadful is about an adventurer, Malcolm Murray, hiring a roadshow artist and an American gunman, Ethan Chandler, to protect his daughter against mysterious forces. Vanessa Ives, an esoteric medium, is caught between the supernatural forces of the likes of Dorian Gray, Lucifer, and the Coven of Witches, who consider him their master, and Count Dracula. Then we have Victor Frankenstein, who's trying to help Murray and Ives in finding Murray's daughter. He is hunted by his own undead creation, forced to make it his bride. Divided into 3 seasons, this show follows Murray, Chandler, Frankenstein, and Ives in shielding Victorian London from soulless supernatural threats. Divided between 3 seasons, this show brings together the beloved historical Gothic characters from the Victorian era and unfolds their stories in twists and turns. Josh Hartnett, Ethan Chandler, and Eva Green, Vanessa Ives, have been enthusiastically received by the viewers as the stars of the show. The combination of a certain lighter, jovial tone with darker, gory matters keeps it at the perfect pace to not make it too much of anything. It already has the 4 pillars of Gothic and supernatural, tragically chilling characters within it who still haunt the origin of many horror stories. Need I say more? Dead Ringers 2023.
It's the funny one. My sister and I do work that is groundbreaking.
Dead Ringers 2023 is a twist on the Dead Ringers 1988, where the tragedy of the male twins has been replaced by the tragedy of the female twins. Beverly and Elliot Mantle, taking after their male counterparts in David Cronenberg's film of the same name, carry their respective personalities. Whereas Elliot is bolder, sharper, and colder, Beverly is more timid and idealistic in her approach to life. Elliot is ready to break any rules and go to any extent to achieve the highest possible profit from her ideas of revolutionizing the process of giving birth, whereas Beverly has her own set of ideals for success, which revolves around her opening an independent fertility clinic and becoming a mother. The symbiotic relationship between the twins, however, takes a turn for the worse once Beverly comes into a relationship with Genevieve. Dead Ringers 2023 deals with the theme of C-section, miscarriages, identity crisis, the cold side of capitalism, suicide, drugs and murder. The tragedy and horror of this film lies in the characteristic elements of the 2 sisters, one of whom only sees the womb as a way of making more money and has no limit of the sky in her vision to achieve it. Beverly, on the other hand, realizes how achieving everything she ever wanted still couldn't give her the happiness she craved, and so she gives away the life that she had taken from her sister, believing that only one of the Siamese twins can survive, a death she might well have structured long before she actually reached out for it. Wolfpack 2023. Wolfpack 2023 brings out the favorite supernatural fantastical creature of some of us out to play. This story is of 2 teenagers who get wounded by a werewolf in a wildfire and come to terms with discovering themselves as werewolves, thus forming a strong bond with each other. They then come across 2 other adoptive teenagers of a park ranger who had a similar experience 16 years ago. The 4 of them then join forces to go into the depth of the supernatural secret that binds them. and find a way to thwart the danger that the werewolf poses. This show has been met with several mixed responses. Some viewers have loved it for its representation of gory and horrific aspects of the supernatural creature that a werewolf is, along with the tone-chilling suspense, the realistic representation of the teenage traits, and the humble reality of their bonds formed with each other. Others, however, found it too teenage-like for them, a bit slow in its progress, and believed that the only attractive part about it was Sarah Michelle Gellar. However, if you're an enthusiastic werewolf fan, there is a high chance that this show will fit right up your alley.
Rights, priest? Giving up on the piglet so soon?
But most of all, because they offended The Exorcist, 2016. The Exorcist 2016, based on the 1973 film of the same name, follows the journey of two priests who struggle to fight against a demonic force that plagues the Rance family. Casey Rance, Hannah Kasulka, the more innocent daughter of the two in the Rance family, is infiltrated by the demon Pazuzu. The series takes us through terrifying and unsettling paranormal activities taking place in the Rance household. The series was dark, disturbing, and edgy. The strange events that start to happen and the mental breakdown of the father of the two sisters add to the overwhelming sense of paranoia and doom ever present in the show. Even standing on the foundation laid by the original classic, it did not disappoint its viewers in terms of carrying the same aura of mourning and bleakness that the original had carried. Father Marcus and Father Thomas bring in the question of religion and faith against the power of the demon. It doesn't have too many jump scares or gore. However, the focus is on the demonic possession of human children, an evil power feasting on innocent souls. The portrayal of the possession scenes is graphically unnerving, centering on the horrific aspects of being vulnerable and helpless to evil supernatural powers. Sleepy Hollow, 2013. Ichabod Crane had killed the Horseman of Death, but he himself had gotten severely injured in doing so. To save his life, his wife and Warlock come together to link him to the Horseman of Death. 200 years later, when mysterious evil forces awaken the Headless Horseman, Ichabod Crane automatically gets awakened as well. Upon being discovered, Crane is immediately sent to a psych ward. As he pleads his innocence against the murder he is charged with. As the mischievous powers of the Horseman of famine, war, and conquest are prepared to join him soon, Lieutenant Abby Mills and Ichabod must prepare themselves to fight against them. Who doesn't love an old supernatural legend? Sleepy Hollow gives it its own magical grim twists and turns. The first and second season of this series was generally well received. However, the third and fourth season have been taken as a letdown. The characters grow and develop throughout the story, attaching the viewers to the bond they form with other characters. There are evil powers, witty quips, good humor, and a grave thrill of fighting against uncanny and mystical enemies eager to bring mayhem, chaos, and destruction. Safe to say, it'll take your sleep away.
Something was out there. Something bad.
Hemlock Grove, 2013. Based on McGreevy's novel of 2012 of the same name, Hemlock Grove explores the journey of Peter Rumanchek and Roman Godfrey as they try to find out the killer of the two teenagers brutally murdered at the beginning of the story. Racing against the suspicion that's been labeled onto them, they have their own secrets to defend. Peter, claimed to be a werewolf, is trying hard to hide him actually being one, and Roman is struggling with his own demons. They both have a long way to go as they try to come to terms with their own unnatural urges and try to find a way to grapple against secrets and forces much bigger than them. This series has gotten mixed sentiments from its viewers. Whereas some viewers love it for the emotional, psychological, mature and dark themes it deals with, others consider the plotline weak and obvious, overly sensual, with a lot left to be desired. However, if you are looking for sinister, supernatural creatures, horrifying secrets embedded in the heart of a village, and a struggle to find a place of your own as a misfit within a system intent on throwing you out, you've got yourself a perfect watch. The Strain, 2014. The Strange rationalizes the supernatural mystery of vampirism through biological terminologies, giving it a scientifically sinister twist. Dr. Ibrahim Goodweather head of the Canary Project that responds to biological threats, Cetrakian, a Holocaust survivor, and a diverse group of defenders join forces together to find a solution to this epidemic. Grim, gory, and a blood-steeped series, it will question the age-old struggle between good and evil, where both forces will give their all in trying to take hold of humanity. A war is worming its way through Epps City, and he, along with the others, must find a cure to treat this outbreak before the whole of humanity gets wiped out. Taking the concept of the Dracula syndrome through a scientific approach has definitely gained the strain brownie points from its viewers. Corey Stoll, as a lead of the series, has been greatly appreciated in his role as a flawed protagonist. Each character has their own well-framed backstories, and it's hard not to feel for some of the villains as well. The historical depth added to the contemporary timeline of the story gives it even more of a resounding resonance. A perfect blend of ethical conflicts, dark and gritty violence, a looming threat of doom, and the emotional strength required to struggle against it all. It's the perfect watch for anyone who is into supernatural apocalypse tropes.
For the first time in my life, I know exactly.
Mayfair Witches 2023. A supernatural thriller, Mayfair Witches is a cinematic adaptation of Anne Rice's book series of the same name. Rowan Fielding, a neurosurgeon who suddenly comes to terms with being the heir of a family of witches. With this abrupt turn of events come not only newfound powers, which she might get a command over, but also uncanny challenges. A sinister presence has loomed over her family for generations, and she has to find a way to contend with it. For most of those who've already read the books, and for some of those who haven't, this series has brought a huge sense of disappointment. Many readers cannot withstand the way this series has made several changes in the plotline, and has failed to portray the actors with the exact depiction of the characters as created in the books. However, for the other half of some of those who haven't yet read the series, or the minuscule percentage of those who have, this series seems thrilling. And even if not exactly, it still does a decent job of getting across the theme it stands for. Still, if one has read the books, proceed with caution and an open mind.
It's like the perfect storm, right?
Into the Dark 2019. Into the Dark is an anthology of stories in which holidays of a month become a harbinger for doom as people encounter paranormal activities or supernatural creatures during that time. It covers a wide spectrum of gothic range where horrific, psychotic and terrifying elements come together with a supernatural or delusional twist added to the quotidian events of life. This anthological series has its ups and downs, with Treehouse, School Spirit, Puka, Flesh and Blood, and The Body being some of the episodes that come highly recommended. The acting has been carried out more than satisfactorily for the most part, and the settings built to create the sense of horror, mystery, and a certain unearthly grimness do their jobs immaculate. The merry festivities of the holidays take a dark turn as the unnatural power of the haunting creatures and psychotic minds come out to creep the holiday spirit out of you. The Returned 2015. Based on the Emmy-winning French suspense series adapted by Fabrice Gilbert and inspired by the feature film Les Revenants, The Returned follows the return of several locals in a small town who were considered to be dead. They are unaware of the fact that they've died, and they have been properly mourned by their families. Adjusting to their happy return, however, soon takes an emotional and physical toll on their family. Just as they have begun to adjust to their daily lives, uncanny phenomena and mysterious murders begin to take place around them. Viewers had welcomed the first season of this series with an enthusiastic embrace. The depth and layers that were embedded between what would have otherwise been just another story built upon the premise of the zombie trope. The haunting music suspended between the scenes of each episode emphasizes the unearthly and eerie atmosphere that is carried out throughout the series. Unresolved questions and strange events, along with the manic reactions of the survivors upon seeing their loved ones whom they had already grieved for, makes this series a masterpiece as a supernatural horror series.
Put the doll down now.
I'm fine as I am, Mr. Jenner.
You
lost Jericho when he was...
So, 2019, a Philadelphia couple, Dorothy and Sean Turner, hire an 18-year-old Leanne Grayson to be the nanny for the doll that takes the place of their dead son, Jericho. The doll is something that has been taken as a measure to help Dorothy cope with the grief of her son's death. However, bizarre and mystifying events keep taking place ever since the arrival of Leanne. An unfathomable, malicious force has walked through the gates of this dysfunctional couple. Even as the occurrences are constantly explained to be as coincidences, Sean cannot help but be suspicious of their new hire. Rounding up to be a total of 4 seasons, this series is only able to captivate its viewers in its entirety till the end of season 1. The creepy and enigmatic dynamics of different characters set up in the first season of the show, which had kept the aura of unnatural, unsettling suspense alive, lose in holding their charm the same way in other seasons. For an unnatural cult trope psychological thriller, this series, or at least of the first season of this series, comes highly recommended.
If you don't, I feel like something very bad is gonna happen.
The Outsider 2020, an adaptation of Stephen King's novel of the same name, The Outsider questions the reality of the world that eludes the consciousness of a rational mind. A typical, straightforward investigation takes a sinister turn when a young boy is gruesomely murdered by a cop. This series follows a group's struggle against a powerful, evil presence who's bent on bringing chaos and havoc in this world. This series, as compared to the spectacular response that the book received, has received mixed responses. While some believe it to be the best Stephen King adaptation in capturing its eeriness, the supernatural elements, the bonds and emotion elicited throughout the whole story, others consider it to be too shifty, with many filler episodes where nothing much takes place. Jason Bateman and Ben Mendelsohn have given spectacular performances as Terry Maitland and Ralph respectively.
It's not real. It's just a dream.
Evil 2019, where supernatural occurrences once again clash under the scrutiny of scientific disbelief. A clinical psychologist follows a priest in training and a contractor in investigating paranormal occurrences, including demonic possession among other unearthly happenings, to find out if there isn't a scientific explanation to it all. This show has been found to appeal to both sides of people, those who have faith and those who have no faith as well. It broaches the idea of skepticism and supernatural powers with a perfect balance of a dark atmosphere, creepy air, wholesome interactions, and a healthy humor. It's neither too stretched out as to bore the viewers, nor is it too rushed as to leave any feeling of incompleteness. Certain factually documented experiences only add to the chills it so spectacularly delivers. Twin Peaks 2017. Twin Peaks from 2017 takes off 25 years after the inhabitants of a quaint northwestern town are rendered stunned upon the murder of their homecoming queen. The story follows an investigation that continues more out of a necessity to keep the memory of the dead alive, but the revelation of who the murderer is takes the story towards a darker, supernatural turn. The story is more than a didactic and resolved plot. It ultimately tries to engage your mind in the shiftiness it brings to play. Whilst many people are jarred by its loose ends, ambiguity, and unnatural pacing, the others love it for the same reasons. The tugging sense of suspense, enhanced by the constant supernatural elements incorporated in the story, complete with the demonic possession, accentuates the darkly whimsical quality of this series in the best way it can. Ash vs. Evil Dead 2015. After spending 30 years of his life after his first clash with the Evil Dead, Ash Williams had lived a life of pure abandonment of any kind of responsibilities, unable to shake off the memories of the horrible events that took place all those years ago. However, his careless approach to life soon brings the Deadites again to life on account of one of his reckless mistakes. He must pick up his tools again to fight off the evil that had haunted him all this time, having become the only hope to save humanity from mass destruction. This show is a hilarious and entertaining take on the grounds of horror, that the original series had established. There's gore, action-packed scenes with the iconic re-entry of Ash into the world of the evil dead again, and the viewers love nothing more. The element of this bloody humor, pun intended, has been taken with a round of delight, where people believe that it has even taken the original series to new heights. The character of Ash has been more fleshed out and challenges him to a new level. The cancellation of this series has come as a major disappointment for its fans.
He's on lock.
Lock and Key 2020. Lock and Key follows three siblings and their mother as they move to their ancestral home after their father is murdered under unnatural circumstances. They soon discover that there is something wrong with their home. Key House, their ancestral home, is full of magical keys which might hold some kind of connection with their father's death. However, as the children will go to explore what those keys are all about, they will awaken a malignant demon hungry for their souls. This story had a promising storyline but ended up disappointing its viewers a lot. Although the general plot idea was captivating, some of the weak, poorly written responses of the main characters towards certain scenes corrupts one's engagement with the story. The fantastical elements and the supernatural premise is incorporated remarkably. However, the poor decisions taken on by the characters, the acting in some parts, and the conclusion somehow let its audience down.
Scaring me!
So sorry, Norman.
Bates Motel 2013. An adaptation of Hitchcock's Psycho, this movie explores the unraveling of Norman Bates' mind and his unnaturally intricate relationship with his mother. After the death of his father, Norman and his mother Norma move into another town for a fresh start. Norma buys a motel there to make a living. However, that motel has a certain uncanny influence about it. Vera Farmiga, need I say more? Freddie Highmore as Norman and Farmiga as Norma do a fantastic job of creating an unsettling yet warm relationship throughout this series. Norman's struggle with accepting the horror of the changes he's experiencing, his creepily loving relationship with his mother that borders on incestuous, and Norma's own performance as a possessive, unsettled, tragic yet caring mother carries on the show to spectacular levels. The sympathetic portrayal of Norman, where one almost forgets that he's a psychopath, followed by his outbursts that slowly seeps in the idea of his insanity, brings a chilling duality to the story of doom. Slasher 2016. As Sarah Bennett is beginning to settle with her husband in Waterbury, the tragic occurrences of what happened 30 years ago is brought back again. She is caught in a web of murders that revolve around the 7 deadly sins that are done in the same way her parents were murdered all those years ago. However, the supposed killer who went by the name of the Executioner is in jail. Suddenly, everyone around Sarah becomes a suspect and a victim at the same time, as long-hidden secrets unfold and no one can be trusted anymore. An American-Canadian series creates this horrifying aspect that perhaps the American Horror Story fails to completely portray. A terrorizing killer is on the loose. A dooming sense of suspense and the grittiness of gore, this series succeeds in successfully collaborating all of them in equilibrium. Although season 1 does get predictable and cliché towards the end, with awkward jump scares and obvious misdirection from the killer, this series is worth a watch if you're into gory murders and killer streaks instincts running rampant inside people. And season 2 is definitely top-notch, the best recommendation as it comes.
I could not save myself, but I could save her.
Interview with the Vampire 2022. An adaptation of Anne Rice's bestseller of the same name, Interview with the Vampire explores the story of Louis de Pointe-du-Lac, a vampire who is currently living in Dubai. He wishes to have an interview with the renowned journalist Daniel Molloy to recount his earthly 20th century life in New Orleans with Lestat de Liancourt and a teen, Claudia, his formed family. However, as the interview progresses and flashbacks are revealed, we see that there is more to Louis's story than he's willing to reveal. This show has been widely and enthusiastically received by its viewers. Jacob Anderson and Sam Reed as Louis and Lestat and Bailey Bass as Claudia do a fantastic job in portraying their characters. The series captures the books accurately for the most part, including the queer relationships that have been evaded in earlier film adaptations. The changes that have been made have been rather loved than criticized because of how much more depth and life they add to the story. The story takes on a more gothic and mysteriously perplexing take as it dives into Louis's recollection of blood-sucking sagas and his difficult relationship with Lestat and Claudia. This film is for all of them who like historical dramas and the vampire trope. This supernatural mystery is not gonna disappoint you.
It's inescapable, whatever the cost. Even when you know the only way out.
The Hunger, 1997. The Hunger series, hosted by Terence Stamp and David Howie in seasons 1 and 2 respectively, is a horror anthology series that explore the stories of power, eroticism and driving urges that lead one towards their supernatural doom. This series, although reportedly difficult to track down, has received a fairly excellent rating in terms of its storytelling, themes explored and the aesthetic cinematic graphics. It carries a diverse range of themes including comedic, gothic and perverse. Although the same theme of sensuality, along with the lack of sincere acting, has been the cause of some criticism as well. Overall, its artistic representation and bold themes go a long way in captivating the audience.
Of La Rochelle, we keep the balance. We kill the inferno.
We brought this upon ourselves, Chief Westbrook.
Superstition, 2017. This series follows the family of Hastings, who has been the sole owner of a funeral house and a graveyard in La Rochelle for as long as anyone can remember. However, their job isn't just to provide services for all faiths, but also to look after the afterlife care for those untimely deaths that are caused by demonic entities and to tackle other supernatural phenomena that creep in through the edges of the world as we live in. With the help of arcane weaponry, mystical alchemy skills, otherworldly strength, and a deep knowledge of the occult and ancient lore from all over the world, the Hastings have to ensure that evil remains within the shadows of the town they live in. This show seems like it's based on the story of Supernatural. However, the storyline diverges from the latter in terms of the supernatural quality that gets assigned to many characters from the human realm. However, any problems that do occur in the first episode of this series seems to slowly ameliorate itself in terms of the plot, the action, and the characters as well. Although there might be some problems with the pacing of the scenes or the plot unity, overall, this show does a pretty good job as a standalone series. Nancy Drew, 2019. Based on Carolyn Keane's book series of the same name, this series follows Nancy Drew, a remarkable teen detective, as she gets caught up as a prime suspect for a murder of a socialite. After the death of her mother in her senior year, she had sworn off crime solving. However, becoming the prime suspect along with her nemesis George Fan, a new rich girl in town, Bess Maven, Drew's secret boyfriend, Nick Nickerson and Ace, all of them form a group to get to the depths of this mystery, to clear their own name, getting entangled with supernatural occurrences along the way. Who hasn't heard of Nancy Drew? But if you haven't, fear not. For all those who have and for those who haven't, CW has brought Nancy Drew to the screen with drastic changes to the original plotline and another spectacular mystery under our detective's nose. In this series, George and Bess aren't already her friends. Ned, get this, is a criminal. There is no Hannah, and Nancy's mother hasn't already been dead since her childhood years. However, these changes have their own perks in setting the tone for the story and an emotional arc development of the characters. The atmosphere of mystery along with haunting forces only adds a cherry on the top. This series comes highly recommended whether or not you've known the bookish version of Nancy Drew, at least once you get over the shock of the new changes.
Jesus, Haley will die.
I'm just supposed to pack up my things and leave.
Your family needs
The Originals, 2013. The Originals is an American fantasy supernatural drama television series aired in 2013. The show is a spin-off of The Vampire Diaries and follows the Michelson siblings, the world's first vampires, as they return to New Orleans. The series focuses on the Michelson family's complicated relationships, including power battles, partnerships, and betrayals. They confront their roots, defend their family, and try to recover their supernatural authority as they journey through the sinister realm of witches, werewolves, and other supernatural entities. The Originals beautifully blends supernatural components with reality, exploring the blurred lines between good and evil. The series skillfully combines violent action sequences, dark magic, and spine-chilling encounters to create a visually spectacular spectacle. The well-written script and skilled directing keeps the story moving at a steady pace without compromising character development for narrative twists. While the first and second seasons were remarkable, the third and fourth seasons experienced a modest drop in quality, with several stories becoming stretched or redundant. Visually, The Originals is a feast for the eyes. The hauntingly beautiful cinematography, along with New Orleans' atmospheric setting, transports viewers to a realm of dark elegance and mystery. The Secret of Skinwalker Ranch, 2020. The Secret of Skinwalker Ranch revolves around the enigmatic and notorious Skinwalker Ranch located in Utah, which has a long history of unexplained phenomena. The series follows a team of scientists, researchers, and experts who embark on a quest to unravel the mysteries surrounding the ranch. They encounter a wide range of perplexing occurrences, including strange lights in the sky, unidentified flying objects, UFOs, paranormal activities, and unexplained animal mutilations. As they delve deeper into the unknown, the team grapples with unexplained mishaps, uncharted territories, and the inherent dangers associated with their exploration. Through their journey, viewers are taken on an adventure into the heart of the Skinwalker Ranch's secrets. The Secret of Skinwalker Ranch has ignited a storm of curiosity among both critics and the public, leaving them eagerly engaged in its mysterious world. The lead actor, Travis Taylor, is a real-life aerospace engineer and optical scientist. He holds various degrees in mechanical and aeronautical engineering, physics, astronomy, and other fields, which leads to the show's science part getting covered. Currently, the show is going strong with 4 seasons and 43 episodes, while the recent ones are yet to be aired. The show has garnered a devoted following. Critics have hailed it as a thrilling rollercoaster of paranormal exploration, praising its ability to keep viewers on the edge of their seats. Public reception has been electric, with fans flocking to social media to share their excitement and theories about the unexplained happenings. Scream 2015. Scream is a TV show that follows a group of high school students in the town of Lakewood as they are targeted by a masked killer. They unravel the dark secrets of their town's past while facing suspenseful murders, uncovering a web of betrayal, and trying to survive the chilling encounters. The first 2 seasons, which are set in the fictional town of Lakewood, Louisiana, explore the life of a young girl named Emma Duval, who has links to the heinous incidents that occurred there in the past. Spanning 3 seasons and a total of 30 episodes, it keeps audiences hooked with its suspenseful storylines and clever twists. With positive reception, Scream successfully captivates viewers with its fresh take on the slasher genre, well-developed characters, self-aware humor, and engaging narrative. It is a must-watch for horror enthusiasts craving a blend of mystery, suspense, and self-aware humor. Oh, and the show is especially known for its gut-wrenching finale. It is perfect for you if you're looking for some old-school gore. Freddy's Nightmares. Freddy's Nightmares is a chilling TV anthology series that aired from 1988 to 1990. Serving as a spin-off of the popular A Nightmare on Elm Street film franchise, this show delves into the horrifying and twisted world of Freddy Krueger. An obsessive sadist, Freddy takes immense pleasure in terrorizing his prey before killing them. Each episode presents standalone stories of terror, exploring the nightmares and dark fantasies of different characters. From eerie dreams to supernatural encounters, the series weaves together a tapestry of fear and psychological horror. Freddy's Nightmares received mixed critical reception during its run. While some critics appreciated the show's imaginative storytelling and its ability to expand the franchise's mythos, others found the episodes uneven in quality. People enjoyed the protagonist's clown-cum-psychopath character who would appear every minute and crack jokes before and after killing someone. Despite the varied critical opinions, the show developed a dedicated fanbase, attracting horror enthusiasts and fans of the Elm Street series seeking a dose of Freddy-induced nightmares. It is a must-watch for fans of the iconic Freddy Krueger character and the horror genre. Nightmares and Dreamscapes from the Stories of Stephen King, 2006. Nightmares and Dreamscapes from the Stories of Stephen King is a captivating TV anthology series that aired in 2006. They are all based on the works of acclaimed author Stephen King. Stephen is also renowned to be the king, see what I did there, of the horror genre, with works like IT, with works like It and The Shining in his resume. Each episode presents standalone stories of horror, mystery and supernatural suspense. With 8 episodes, the show brings King's eerie tales to life, exploring the depths of human fears and the darkness that lurks within. The series boasts an impressive ensemble cast featuring renowned actors who deliver stellar performances. From many psychological thrills, the show offers a captivating and macabre journey into the twisted realms of Stephen King's storytelling prowess. Nightmares and Dreamscapes from the Stories of Stephen King, 2006, received a generally positive reception from both critics and audiences. The anthology series captures the essence of King's unique brand of horror and suspense. One of the key features of this series is that it does not need blood, gore, or jump scares to get you hooked. The talented ensemble cast's performances were widely praised, as were the production values and faithful adaptation of King's work. With their engaging storytelling, Nightmares and Dreamscapes successfully delighted fans of Stephen King's haunting narratives. The Twilight Zone 2019. The Twilight Zone 2019 is a modern anthology series hosted by the Jordan Peele, featuring standalone stories of mystery, science fiction, and psychological intrigue, exploring thought-provoking concepts and blurring the line between reality and imagination. The show is spanned across 2 seasons and 20 episodes, with an odd and surprising twist. Each episode of this show tackles a new theme, touching on problems including immigration, racism, disinformation in the media, racism, supernatural events, and societal concerns. Basically, this is the definition of a woke show. Audiences praised the show's ambition as it managed to capture the magic of the original series. The performances, particularly Jordan Peele's hosting, were generally well received. The main attraction of the show was the vivid visuals. It displayed visually striking and well-crafted cinematography. The show effectively utilized camera angles, lighting, and visual effects to create a distinct atmosphere for each episode. The visuals ranged from eerie and suspenseful to surreal and thought-provoking, enhancing the storytelling and immersing viewers in the otherworldly settings. The production design and visual aesthetics were often praised for their attention to detail while infusing it with a modern flair. American Gothic, 1995. American Gothic is a captivating TV series that aired in 1995, blending elements of mystery, horror, and supernatural drama. Set in the small town of Trinity, South Carolina, the show revolves around Sheriff Lucas Buck, a charismatic and enigmatic figure with dark secrets. As the story unfolds, the residents of Trinity become entangled in a web of sinister events, unexplained occurrences, and unsettling revelations. The story starts with a young boy named Caleb learning that Buck may be his biological father. As Caleb navigates his own mysterious abilities and uncovers the town's dark secrets, he becomes entangled in a dangerous game orchestrated by Buck. Over the years, American Gothic has developed a cult following, with viewers appreciating its eerie ambience, complex characters, and the way it falls under vastly different genres. With its atmospheric storytelling and complex characters, as well as a perfect balance of suspense and physiological tension, American Gothic keeps viewers on the edge of their seats, offering a compelling and unforgettable journey into the heart of darkness. Besides the protagonists, the audience seem to be obsessed with supporting characters too. A fan favorite is Gail Emery, a determined and resourceful doctor who becomes a steadfast ally to Caleb. Man, CBS knows how to make a good show. Salem, 2014. Salem is a captivating TV series that premiered in 2014, offering a unique and dark reimagining of the infamous Salem witch trials. Set in 17th century Massachusetts, the show explores the witchcraft-infested town through a mix of historical drama, supernatural elements, and political intrigue. The story follows Mary Sibley, a powerful witch, as she navigates the treacherous world of Salem, where fear and paranoia reign. As the town falls deeper into hysteria and fear, Mary finds herself at the center of a web of dark magic, political intrigue, and personal vendettas. Salem presents a compelling and often chilling narrative that delves into the depths of human darkness and the pursuit of power. Salem received a mixed reception from both audiences and critics. The show garnered a dedicated fan base that appreciated its unique take on the Salem witch trials, a major set of historical and changing the trajectory of the world-esque events. The main attractions of the show included its atmospheric setting, intricate plot lines, and the strong performances of the cast, particularly Janet Montgomery as Mary Sibley. The music of Salem was often highlighted for its haunting and evocative compositions, effectively enhancing the show's dark tone. Some critics praised it for consistently maintaining an eerie atmosphere. While it faced criticism for its graphic content, the show remained popular among viewers who enjoyed its macabre and suspenseful depiction of the infamous witch trials. Z Nation, 2014. Z Nation is an action-packed TV series set in a post-apocalyptic world overrun by zombies. The story follows a group of survivors as they embark on a perilous journey across the United States, aiming to transport the only known survivor of a zombie bite to a research facility in California. Along the way, they encounter hordes of flesh-eating zombies, dangerous human factions, and bizarre zombie mutations. Balancing humor and horror, the show explores the themes of survival, hope, and the resilience of the human spirit in the face of adversity. With its fast-paced storytelling, memorable characters, and thrilling zombie encounters, Z Nation delivers an adrenaline-fueled adventure through a zombie-infested landscape. Z Nation's fast-paced storytelling, diverse and charismatic characters, and the creative ways in which it tackled the zombie genre gathered the viewer's attention immensely. They particularly enjoyed the show's self-awareness and willingness to embrace its campy and over-the-top nature. The character dynamics and chemistry within the ensemble cast were highly regarded, with particular praise given to the performances of actors like Kalita Smith and DJ Qualls. Z Nation garnered a loyal following who found its entertainment value in its blend of humor, thrilling zombie encounters, and the camaraderie among the diverse group of survivors. The River, 2012. The River is a thrilling TV series that follows the search for a renowned wildlife expert and television host, Dr. Emmett Cole, who goes missing in the uncharted depths of the Amazon rainforest. The story unfolds through found footage and documentary-style storytelling as his family, friends, and a documentary crew ventures into the treacherous jungle to uncover the truth behind his disappearance. As they navigate through mysterious and supernatural encounters, they unravel dark secrets lurking within the depths of the river, encountering malevolent spirits, ancient rituals, and terrifying creatures. While critical reception was mixed, The River stood out for its unique selling points. It employed the found footage genre, immersing viewers in a raw and gritty perspective that added a layer of authenticity to the eerie and terrifying encounters. The show's stunning cinematography captured the lush and treacherous beauty of the rainforest, creating a visually captivating backdrop for the narrative. The talented ensemble cast brought depth and emotion to their characters, further enhancing the show's appeal. Despite its short-lived run, The River remains a must-watch for fans of horror. This is not a river one could skate away on. The Dead Zone, 2002. The Dead Zone is a captivating TV series based on Stephen King's novel of the same name. The story centers around Johnny Smith, a high school teacher who wakes up from a 6-year coma with the ability to see glimpses of the past and future through physical contact. As Johnny grapples with his newfound psychic powers, he becomes a reluctant hero, using his ability to help solve crimes, prevent disasters, and change lives. However, his gift comes at a personal cost. as he faces moral dilemmas, encounters dangerous individuals, and struggles to maintain his own sanity. The Dead Zone offers a gripping and thought-provoking exploration of fate and the human condition. Audience reviews were largely positive for this one. Many praised the show's engrossing plotlines and the strong performances of the cast, particularly Anthony Michael Hall in the lead role. The series' ability to explore complex themes such as destiny, free will, and the consequences of altering fate kept viewers engaged and invested in the story. Critics praised the series for its ability to seamlessly switch up genres, including elements of science fiction, supernatural abilities, and crime drama. Ghosted 2017. Ghosted is a comedic TV series that brings together elements of science fiction, supernatural, and buddy cop genres. The story follows two polar opposite individuals, former skeptic Leroy Wright and brilliant but paranoid scientist Max Jennifer, who are reluctantly partnered to investigate paranormal activities in Los Angeles. As they delve into a world filled with ghosts, monsters, and government conspiracies, they uncover a larger world-threatening conspiracy and must work together to save humanity. With its mix of horror, action, and supernatural elements, Ghosted offers an entertaining and light-hearted take on the supernatural detective genre. Audience reviews highlighted the chemistry between the two lead actors, Adam Scott and Craig Robinson, as a major strength of the show. Their comedic timing and banter provided moments of genuine entertainment. It is worth noting that the popularity of the show was also influenced by the recognition and fandom surrounding its stars, as both Scott and Robinson had previously appeared in successful comedy projects. A horror show showcasing the odd couple dynamics and comedic chemistry between its lead characters instead of just jump scares and cold-blooded screams is bound to intrigue the viewers.
Now, whatever sick deal he made, it's over.
Van Helsing 2016. Van Helsing is a thrilling TV series that reimagines the legendary vampire hunter's lineage in a post-apocalyptic world. The story revolves around Vanessa Van Helsing, a descendant of Abraham Van Helsing, who wakes up from a coma to find that vampires had taken over the world. With her unique bloodline, Vanessa possesses the ability to turn vampires back into humans. As she leads a group of survivors, they face off against hordes of vampires and other supernatural creatures while unraveling the mysteries of Vanessa's past. Van Helsing became popular due to its ability to reinvent the vampire genre, offering a fresh and dark twist on mythology. It offers a gritty and action-packed narrative, blending horror, fantasy, and survival elements, and explores themes of redemption, humanity, and the fight against darkness in a world teetering on the brink of extinction. On top of that, it showcases great representation with female leads dominating the screen. Viewers are obsessed with the CGI and action-packed scenes in this one. Harper's Island 2009. Harper's Island from 2009 is a suspenseful TV series that takes place on the secluded Harper's Island, known for a series of gruesome murders carried out by John Wakefield that occurred 7 years earlier. The story follows a group of family and friends who gather on the island for a wedding celebration, but soon find themselves trapped with a mysterious killer who resumes the spree of killings. As the body count rises, secrets are unveiled, alliances are tested, and everyone becomes a suspect. Mystery, horror, and whodunit elements amalgamate wonderfully in this show. Harper's Island offers a thrilling and suspenseful narrative that keeps viewers literally on the edge of their seats, guessing the identity of the killer until the shocking finale. The series is notable for its unique format, as it was conceived as a limited event with a defined storyline and a finite number of episodes. The show goes from 0 to 100 real quick and is an excellent watch for the less patient ones. Constantine 2014. Constantine from 2014 is a gripping TV series based on the DC Comics character John Constantine, a supernatural detective and exorcist. The story follows Constantine, a tormented and morally ambiguous anti-hero, as he battles supernatural forces and demons while trying to redeem his soul. With a unique ability to perceive the hidden realms of angels and demons, Constantine investigates paranormal incidents, performs exorcisms, and confronts ancient evils. Alongside his allies, including the psychic Liv Aberdeen and the cynical Chaz Chandler, he takes on dark forces to save innocent lives and prevent the impending apocalypse. The series received positive reviews from critics who praised its dark tone, intriguing storytelling, and Matt Ryan's charismatic performance as Constantine. Additionally, the show's cancellation after one season left fans eager for more, leading to a strong and vocal online following. Constantine delivers a dark and thrilling narrative filled with occult mysteries, supernatural battles, and a morally complex protagonist. Not all of them can be goody two-shoes all the time. Everybody loves a little grey hero every now and then. Crazyhead 2016. Crazyhead 2016 is a hilarious and supernatural TV series that follows the adventures of two young women, Amy and Raquel, who discover that they have the ability to see and fight demons. The story kicks off when Amy realizes she's not insane, but rather gifted with the power to identify and vanquish otherworldly creatures. Alongside her newfound best friend Raquel, who possesses her own unique abilities, they navigate a world filled with demons, exorcisms, and demonic possessions. Audience reviews danced with delight, praising Crazyhead for its fresh take on the genre, hilarious banter, and the electric chemistry between the lead duo. Viewers couldn't get enough of the show's mix of scares and giggles as it turned demon slaying into a wickedly good time. With its empowering female characters and a deliciously twisted narrative, the show carved out its own fan-driven frenzy, balancing humor and horror. Crazyhead offers a fresh and irreverent take on the supernatural genre, exploring the complexities of friendship, love, and self-discovery while battling the forces of darkness. Are You Afraid of the Dark? 1992. Are You Afraid of the Dark from 1992 is a beloved TV series that revolves around the group of teenagers called the Midnight Society, who gather around a campfire to tell spooky tales. Each episode features a different story told by one of the members, delving into supernatural, horror, and mystery themes. From haunted houses and cursed artifacts to ghostly apparitions and eerie creatures, the stories unfold in captivating and imaginative ways. The show captures the essence of classic horror storytelling for a younger audience, combining suspense, intrigue, and a touch of nostalgia. Are You Afraid of the Dark offers a thrilling and atmospheric experience that continues to be cherished by fans from all ages. Audience reviews echoed the sentiment, with viewers embracing the show's nostalgic vibes, memorable episodes, and delightful scares. The series became a sensation because it tapped into the thrill-seeking hearts of the 90s kids, who eagerly gathered around the TV, armed with flashlights and a hunger for spooky tales. The combination of captivating stories, supernatural mysteries, and a touch of campy fun made it an addictive watch. Wolf Creek 2016. Wolf Creek 2016 is a thrilling TV series that serves as a continuation of the acclaimed Australian horror film franchise. The story centers around Eve Thorogood, a courageous woman on a quest for revenge against Mick Taylor, a sadistic serial killer notorious for terrorizing the outback. Determined to avenge her family's murder, Eve immerses herself in an intense and dangerous pursuit that leads her deep into the heart of the Australian wilderness. As the narrative unfolds, viewers are taken on a suspenseful journey exploring the psychological depths of Mick Taylor's character, his sinister methods, and the hauntingly beautiful yet treacherous landscapes of the outback. Critics lauded Wolf Creek's intense atmosphere, gruesome kills, and John Jarrett's delightfully terrifying portrayal of the iconic killer Mick Taylor. The fact that a bunch of Americans are trying to survive in Australia makes this one an interesting watch, to be honest. Audience reviews were equally good, with viewers embracing the show's dark and gritty storytelling, heart-pounding suspense, and its ability to send shivers down their spines. Wolf Creek became a hit because it tapped into our primal fear of the great outdoors and turned it up to 11. Teen Wolf 2011. Teen Wolf 2011 is a thrilling supernatural TV series that follows the life of Scott McCall, an ordinary high school student who becomes a werewolf after a fateful encounter in the woods. As Scott navigates the challenges of teenage life, he must also learn to control his newfound powers and navigate the complex world of supernatural creatures that inhabit his town of Beacon Hills. Alongside his best friend Styles, love interest Allison, and a diverse group of allies, Scott battles dangerous supernatural threats, including werewolves, hunters, and mythical creatures. The show combines elements of horror, romance, and coming-of-age drama, exploring themes of identity, friendship, and the struggle between good and evil. Spanning across 6 seasons, the show has completed exactly 100 episodes. We are going to be honest, the brilliant cast is definitely the main attraction of this show. Like, what do you mean? We get to see Tyler Posey, Tyler Hoechlin, and Dylan O'Brien on the same screen. Besides, we know everyone loves a little teenage high school romance mixed with action. It only gets better. Salem's Lot 1979. The 1979 TV miniseries Salem's Lot, based on Stephen King's novel, is a chilling and atmospheric tale of horror. We really can't get enough of this man, can we? Well, the story centers around writer Ben Mears, who returns to his childhood hometown of Salem's Lot to find inspiration for his new book. However, he soon discovers that the town is plagued by vampires, led by the mysterious and menacing Kurt Barlow. As the vampire presence spreads, Ben joins forces with a small group of allies, including teacher Matt Burke and young boy Mark Petrie, to fight against the growing darkness. Salem's Lot became a cult classic because it unleashed a horde of bloodthirsty vampires onto the small screen, captivating audiences with its gothic horror and devilish charm. The miniseries masterfully builds tension, capturing the creeping dread and terror that envelops the town. It delves into the dark secrets and personal struggles of its characters, showcasing the battle between good and evil. Critics praised its atmospheric tone, haunting visuals, and the eerie performance of its cast. One could say that the show has seen a fantastic response. The Haunting of Hill House 2018. The Haunting of Hill House 2018 is a gripping and atmospheric TV series based on Shirley Jackson's novel. The story follows the Crane family who, as children, lived in the haunted Hill House. As adults, the siblings are still haunted by the tragic events that occurred there. The narrative weaves between past and present, exploring the family's harrowing experiences in Hill House and their ongoing struggles with trauma and supernatural phenomena. Each episode focuses on a different family member, unraveling their personal demons and revealing the chilling secrets of the house. The Haunting of Hill House is praised for its exceptional production values, including stunning cinematography and grand sets. Its narrative structure keeps audiences engaged as they uncover the mysteries surrounding Hill House. The series also incorporates strong character development and emotional depth. It delves into the complex relationships and psychological traumas of the characters, grounding the horror elements in relatable human experiences. Everyone loves a little family drama, soap opera style. The Kingdom 1994. The Kingdom 1994 is a mesmerizing TV series created by Lars von Trier, set in a Danish hospital with a dark and supernatural past. The story unfolds through 2 intertwined plot lines. One centers around the eccentric staff and patients in the present-day hospital, while the other explores the haunted history of the hospital during the 19th century. As the series progresses, eerie phenomena, mysterious deaths, and ghostly encounters blur the boundaries between the living and the dead. The Kingdom delves into themes of medical ethics, the complexities of human nature, and the consequences of unresolved past traumas. The Kingdom became a quick audience favorite because it dared to cross the line between horror and comedy, serving up a spooky concoction of medical mysteries and otherworldly encounters. Its eccentric and unforgettable characters, along with its wicked sense of humor, set it apart from other shows in the genre. Another one of the reasons why it reached great heights is its low-budget production. This miniseries also ended up establishing Lars von Trier as one of the most brilliant horror filmmakers. Lore 2017. Lore 2017 is a captivating TV series based on the popular podcast of the same name by Aaron Mahnke. Combining elements of horror, history and folklore, each episode delves into a different, real-life tale of the macabre. From vampires and werewolves to haunted houses and mysterious creatures, Lore explores the dark underbelly of human existence. The series intertwines historical reenactments, narration and expert interviews to bring these haunting stories to life. With its immersive storytelling and atmospheric visuals, Lore examines the cultural and psychological significance of these legends, revealing the fascinating and often unsettling connections between folklore and our collective human experience. Blending historical accuracy with a touch of the supernatural, Lore offers a thought-provoking and chilling exploration of the unknown. The meticulous research and attention to detail in each episode are appreciated by both critics and viewers. By the end, the show's combination of educational elements with spine-tingling storytelling resonates with audiences, making it as popular as it is today. The realistic enactments of incidents had the viewers scream, cry, throw up in their seats while leaving them unable to take their eyes off the screen. The Stand 1994. The Stand 1994 is an epic TV miniseries based on Stephen King's acclaimed novel. Set in a post-apocalyptic world ravaged by a deadly plague, the story revolves around a group of survivors who find themselves divided into two factions, one led by the compassionate Mother Abigail and the other by the malevolent Randall Flagg. As the forces of good and evil clash, the characters' journeys intertwine, leading to a climactic battle between the remnants of humanity. Weirdly enough, S. King himself makes a cameo in this series as Teddy Wisak. The Stand explores themes of spirituality, morality, and the resilience of the human spirit in the face of devastation. With its sprawling narrative, complex characters, and blend of horror, fantasy, and drama, the series offers a gripping and thought-provoking tale of survival and redemption in a world on the brink of collapse. The performances are outstanding, with notable portrayals by Gary Sinise, Molly Ringwald, and Jamie Sheridan. The visual and special effects add a haunting and atmospheric touch to the show, immersing viewers in the desolate and dangerous landscape. We can only say that whatever Stephen King does, he does it right. In conclusion, these awesome shows don't always get the recognition they deserve, but they are super appealing to people who want unique and mind-bending stories. They show us that great things can come from unexpected places. These shows are really good at telling intricate stories with exciting plots and well-developed characters. They mix suspense, horror, and mystery in a way that sucks you in and keeps you on the edge of your seat. But it's not just about scaring you. They also dive into the depths of human psychology and explore our deepest fears. They pay a lot of attention to creating the right atmosphere, using creepy music and awesome camera work that give you the creeps even after the show is over. So grab your popcorn, turn off the lights if you dare, and prepare for a thrilling, laughter-filled fright fest that will have you begging for more. And if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. And have a good one and be safe. Thanks everyone.